We're back again. Obviously, we're not on the boat. I imagine you people that watch our videos are getting pretty tired of where's the boat, where's the boat. I want to say this. I really appreciate. I know how hard it is to follow videos, and most of our followers have been really great. And I feel guilty when we don't have much to say, but hopefully this will be our last dry land update. I want, and I thank everybody for hanging in with us, but I want to say a little bit, let Lorraine explain a little bit about what's going on with Demopolis and what we've been doing in the meantime. And you'll notice we do have wine, because the closer we get to going back to the loop, the more we figure we have to practice getting ready for Dock Tales.
Yeah.
So, what's going on with Demopolis?
Well, we
Look at the camera.
we checked out the website. I believe they started this week. I think they started pouring concrete. Still, it's still way too early to know when it's going to be ready. We're here in mid-May, so we're kind of gearing when we leave and things that we want to get done to be ready to roll about mid-May.
We're leaving here April 2nd.
About 3.5 weeks.
When Lorraine says ready to roll mid-May, she means ready to go through the lock.
Right, ready to roll
Through the
south,
lock.
yeah. About mid-May, right.
But we're leaving here April 2nd.
We have at least a 2-day drive, figuring a week to 10 days to get the boat provisioned, cleaned up, organized. Then we're going to head, we think, back to Green Turtle to catch up with some family.
Or at least back north.
Yeah. Again, to be determined. You never know what might boating might throw out at you. But we have a couple things we'd like to get done on the boat too before we actually get moving. We figure once we get moving, we're probably not going to want to stop. So we want to get some, if we have time, zinc bottom work, waxing, that kind of thing done.
One of the things that I noticed, and again, speaking to friends and some people that are actually doing the loop, it was tough stopping. And I think we probably stopped a little bit too long. So there's going to be another startup
Adjustment
period. We've been in the house and 2 cars and been mobile, and all of a sudden we're going to be back on a boat without a car. And so I expect a couple weeks. Then what we'll probably do, as Lorraine said, is probably head north, but we're going to keep our spot at Midway through April. Erin's been great, and if we have to, we can just come and go, and sort of learn to loop again, I think, and get some confidence back
in us
and in the boat.
Yeah, it should be a much less steep learning curve, hopefully, than what we had before. We know a little bit more what to expect. So we've gotten a lot accomplished over the winter, and our lists are winding down. What we do, I'm really starting to pay attention to the nitty gritty, like what we really need to have accomplished before we leave here to make it easier. I'd like to have at least a month where I'm not too worried about, catching up on anything. So
I think in some ways it's probably easier to do the loop without stopping. That wasn't in the cards for us, and I have no regrets because of the things we had to do. But Lorraine still can and occasionally does work, sort of.
Yes.
She's a financial advisor.
An emeritus financial advisor.
So she has clients that she can handle from the boat or from here.
Yeah.
I'm, what am I?
You're a retired boat captain.
Oh, all right, I'm a emeritus retired
An emeritus boat captain.
boat captain. And I've done some things while we're here, and there's one or two things I want to talk about. Hopefully we can make these videos a little more interesting and a little better. Anything else about being here? Or
Well, you took your...
I'll talk
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
I'm asking you. Anything else?
No, we're winding down. I'm starting, we have all the things checked off that we wanted to do. I think we're in pretty good shape.
Okay, there's one other thing I want to comment on that I think might be of interest to some people. I intend to get some drone footage in our future videos. And in some ways that's easier said than done. I actually have a little bit of an aeronautic background. I have a pilot's license. I used to fly private planes and so on. So I've always had some interest in aviation. So I started thinking about drones and drone footage, and some of the people, and you know who they are, they know who they are, do a really great job with that. So as I looked into it, I thought, well, there's probably a lot of people in the loop that don't know the ins and outs or what to do. And here's the bottom line. If you're going to do drone footage on YouTube, you probably have to have a commercial drone license. It's called Part 107 license. FAA is pretty fickle. You can fly your drone without a license, but you can't put the footage in if you monetize, which we don't. But if I would take a video of somebody's boat and give it to them and they monetize, that's FAA considers that commercial. Money doesn't even have to change hands. So if I do you a favor, they can say, well, I gained from that. So what I did is I researched it quite a bit, and I just took the Part 107 commercial drone license, and I passed it, and it was fine, but it was a little tougher than maybe I was prepared for, because I had been out of aviation for 30 years. But if anybody wants to know, it's easy to find out, or I would answer. You probably have to study 2 to 3 weeks. The more you know about aviation and general aviation, the better. The test gets into pretty much everything I had to learn when I did my private pilot ground school. But now that I have it, I can fly anywhere that I can legally fly. Within, the drone has to be 55 pounds or under, and you can only fly 400 feet and line of sight, and all those rules apply. But a lot of people don't like drones. They see them flying over their house or their boat, and they think, they're spying on them. So there's a whole lot of things you have to deal with. But I understand all that now, and I'm hoping that I can make some better videos. The test costs $175. I'd say a drone, minimum for a drone that you can do that kind of footage is probably $500. But I don't have to worry about the FAA.
Not being compliant.
Yeah, you don't want to not be compliant to the FAA. I learned that 30 years ago. One time when I actually skimmed New York City in a small plane.
The what was it called? A TSA?
It was called a TSA in those days. Now it's Class B airspace. But when I landed, I got a call on the radio. Call the FAA as soon as you land. So I learned, and it was fine. It was a student pilot kind of thing or whatever. But I was pretty embarrassed.
Well, since 9/11, I'm sure they take that kind of stuff a lot more seriously.
Yeah, today they would probably shoot you down. And one other thing I want to say, and I find this interesting too, and you may not be interested in drones in the least, and I tend to babble on because I am, but the FAA considers, they call them SU, unmanned, small unmanned aircraft, and they treat it the same as if it was a Cessna 172. you shoot my drone down, you're in big trouble, the same as if you shoot a plane down. So there's a lot of ins and outs with the FAA. I intend to be totally respectful of people and ordinances and so on. But it just struck me when I thought about it, even with my background, I saw people using drones, and I didn't think that much about it. So if anybody out there, and I know there's people that watch this that have interest, and do loop, do it right, because it's not worth, FAA can ruin your day, just kind of like the IRS. And
Probably a fine, right?
well, I think there's a guy right now serving 10 years because he thought it would be cool to fly his drone over the Super Bowl or some game like that. So you need to know where you're flying, what you can and can't do, and go for it. But anyway, we're pretty happy to be getting back. I'm so appreciative of the comments and stuff I get. I try to answer them. And if anybody specifically has any questions about how to go about this drone license, I'll be more. Right today, I'm an expert. I just spent a month working on it. So anyway, that's it for now. I guess we'll.
Well, we're looking forward to the weather changing. It's been warming up in the Northeast and pretty warm down in Fulton. It looks like it's been in the 60s and 70s.
So the next time we do a video, hopefully we'll be on or near
Yes.
the water.
Yes.
And well, thanks for
watching.
hanging in with us. So we'll see you.
See you soon.
And I think we always should probably say cheers.
Cheers to our Grafton
Grafton
Wineglass
Winery.
Winery. Yes.
So.
Nice stop on the loop.